Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 9, Most Confidential Knowledge, Text number 2. Raja Vidya Rajaguyam Pavitramidam Uttamam Pravakshavargamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam Raja Vidya Rajaguyam Pavitramidam Uttamam Pravakshavargamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. Susukham Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. Raja Vidya Rajaguyam Pavitramidam Uttamam Pravakshavargamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. Dami, Dam. This knowledge is the king of knowledge, the secret of all secrets. It's purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, is the perfection of religion, is everlasting and is joyfully performed. So we've gotten up to something like half the purport. So we'll continue. It is said that the execution of devotional service is so perfect that one can perceive the results directly. This direct result is actually perceived, and we have practical experience that any person who is chanting the holy name of Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, in course of chanting without offenses, feels some transcendental pleasure and very quickly becomes purified of all material contamination. This is actually seen. Furthermore, if one engages not only in hearing, but in trying to broadcast the message of devotional activities as well, or if he engages himself in helping the missionary activities of Krishna consciousness, he gradually feels spiritual progress. This advancement in spiritual life does not depend on any kind of previous education or qualification. The method itself is so pure that by simply engaging in it, one becomes pure. In the Vedanta Sutra, this is described in the following words. Prakasha cha karman abhyasat. Devotional service is so potent that simply by engaging in the activities of devotional service, one becomes enlightened without a doubt. Practical example of this can be seen in the previous life of Narada, who in that life happened to be the son of a maidservant. He had no education, nor was he born in a high family. But when his mother was engaged in serving great devotees, Narada also became engaged, and sometimes in the absence of his mother, he would serve the great devotees himself. Narada personally says, Uchista lepan anumodito dvijai, sakritsma bunje tad aprasta kil bisha, evam pravritasya vishuddha chetasas, tadharma evatma ruchi pralayate. In this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Narada describes his previous life to his disciple Vyasadeva. He says, I will engage as a boy servant For those purified devotees, during the 4 months of their stay, he was intimately associating with them. Sometimes these sages left remnants of food on their dishes, and the boy who would wash their dishes wanted to taste the remnants. So he asked the great devotees for their permission. And when he gave it, Narada ate those remnants, consequently became free from all sinful reactions. As he went on eating, he gradually became as pure-hearted as the sages. The great devotees relished the taste of unceasing devotional service by hearing and chanting. And Narada gradually developed the same taste. Narada further says Tadranvaham Krishna Kata Pragayatam Anugrahe Nashrinvam Manoraha Takshadayame Nupadam Vishrinvata Pri Jasravas Yanga Amarbhavadruchi. By associating with the sages, Narada got the taste for hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord, and he developed a great desire for devotional service. Therefore, as described in Vedanta, Prakashas cha karaman yavid abhyasat. If one is engaged simply in the acts of devotional service, everything is revealed to him automatically, and he can understand. This is called pratyaksha, directly perceived. Namo Vishnu Varaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswatam Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Srinivadi Paskadyade Siddharne. The general idea is if we can think of Krishna, then we'll become purified, because Krishna is full of pleasure, transcendental ecstasy, which burns away all the contamination of material existence. The question is how to become conscious of Krishna, how to think about Krishna. That there's no difference between Krishna and Krishna's name, or Krishna and his form, or Krishna and his activities, that they're all of the same spiritual nature. So Narada Muni gives us some hints here. Part of it, he ate prasadam. That's something we can take and hope in. If we don't do anything else, at least we're eating prasadam. Of course, how Narada Muni was eating prasadam and how we eat prasadam may be quite different. He might be honoring prasadam a little bit more than we honor prasadam. On the other hand, just eating prasadam wasn't sufficient to become Narada Muni. Otherwise, we would all become Narada Munis. But he also heard, by taking the remnants of the prasadam, he heard the glories of Krishna. And the glories of Krishna, as well as we learned in the first canto, was not just hearing about Krishna's pastimes. He learned the art or the technique of meditation. And so that when he wandered, because he also learned that you should try to become detached from material things. And although he was only a boy of 5 years old, he left his home. Of course, he didn't have much of a home after his mother was bitten by a snake. And he wandered all over the world. And then finally he sat down to practice one day, not that he didn't practice any other day, but at least on this one day he practiced his meditation as it was taught, and then Krishna appeared within his heart. And every part of his body became separately enlivened in transcendental ecstasy, and he couldn't see both the Lord and himself simultaneously. In other words, he was so absorbed in Krishna consciousness, he only saw Krishna, and he was not even aware of himself anymore. Now, we could try to imitate him. We can leave the temple and start wandering all over the world, but of course, you'd probably get quarantined wherever you went. You'd have to. Even in the forest, you'd have to wear a mask. Protect the animals from coronavirus. especially the birds. The bird flu. Or we could try to sit down in meditation, but that's what we're doing when we're chanting japa. Japa is not to torture us, so we waste 2 hours a day trying to control our minds uselessly. No, actually, this chanting is supposed to be give us the same result as Narada Muni came, but naturally. That if we chant offenselessly, as it says in the purport, then the idea is that we should spontaneously remember Krishna within our heart. Now, that remembrance of Krishna within the heart is not because we have a great memory. In order to improve our devotional service, we wrote books on how to increase your memory. And after learning all the techniques, we sit down and chant japa when we're in the spiritual world. No, it wasn't just the chanting of the words, but it was the sincerity of desire, of purpose, that caused Krishna to reveal himself in the heart of Narada Muni. And similarly, it's the purpose, the desire to please Krishna, to become conscious of Krishna. On that basis, Krishna reveals himself. Not simply because we're chanting some words. Krishna is forced to come and reveal himself. And not that we just chant, as they said before, just for 2 hours a day or however much it takes, and that somehow or another we might hit the jackpot when we're chanting. And Krishna revealed, hey, the 3 lemons or something came up. Krishna revealed himself. We hit a lucky vibration. It's not the way it works. Krishna is fully conscious of what we're doing and who we are and what we're thinking, what we're desiring. He's with us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 360. He knows exactly what we're doing. He's in a much better position than the proverbial Santa Claus. He knows if we're good or bad. At least in English, I have that song. You better, what is it? You better watch out. You better not cry. What's that? Better be good, and I'm telling you why. Santa Claus, Krishna is coming to town. So Krishna knows, and according to our sincerity, then he reveals himself accordingly. Now, how to develop that sincerity? That's the process of hearing. Hearing, and as I've gone over many times, we're not just hearing for the sake of hearing. We're hearing for the idea that we can pick up something that we should remember, that we could apply within our devotional service, especially improving our relationships with the devotees, making them more consistent, loving, with a service attitude. When we say to each other, Prabhu, we don't mean, it's not like a reflection, Prabhu, and it reflects, and it comes back to me, Prabhu. Remember who the real Prabhu is. And it's certainly not you. So we have to actually take the word seriously. If we take that word seriously and develop somewhat of a devotional attitude, then Krishna, especially if we are serious about relating in a cooperative way, at least with the devotees, and at the same time cooperate with the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then Krishna will empower us. And part of that empowerment is Krishna has to reveal himself in some way or another. He can't be empowered and be a Maya at the same time. And if we're trying to serve the mission of Lord Chaitanya, it's not that he's going to think, well, why should I empower him? He's going to take all the credit. I actually need the credit. No, he wants to empower his servants. He wants to empower them to spread Krishna consciousness, and he'll give them Krishna Shakti if they try to do it. Everyone has the experience of going out on book distribution and you feel like you're disempowered. It seems like the people who are passing by on the street, they're more empowered than you are. And you don't want to disturb them because they seem like they're more enlivened and happy than you are. But then when you try, at first it may not be very much of a success because the motivation is not very high. The enthusiasm is not very high. But then after some tries, then one is forced to become humble and rely upon Krishna. One starts realizing, I'm not going to be able to do this by myself. I'm going to have to get some mercy somewhere. You might as well try out Krishna and see what he can do. And then if we try, then we can see actually Krishna sends someone out of nowhere and says, what's that book? No, you're not interested. No, show me the book. Look, I had a hard day. No one wants to take a book from me. No, give me that book. Let me take a look. How much can I give you for it? You don't know what you're doing. No, I insist. Then you think, wow, I'm really empowered. Krishna Shakti, I get it. Then one gets a little bit, well, maybe it's possible. Maybe everyone out here isn't a demon with two horns and a tail. Maybe there's someone who might be interested in Krishna consciousness. Here, take the book, give a donation, but don't read it, please. You'll never understand anything. And if you try and read it better upside down, you get a better chance. No, we developed some confidence after just going out and preaching a little bit that actually Krishna will actually give us the potency, the intelligence, what to do and how to do it, and we can actually get some results. And of course, book distribution is measurable, so we can see, one day I couldn't do anything, and the next day I did, 3 books, the next day 5 books, whatever. So I think, wow. Come here. Stop. Here, take it. Yes. Give a donation. How much? You start developing some confidence and enthusiasm. And then as soon as we forget what we're doing there, I am Maharati Sankirtan. You can touch the tip of my toe. But don't get too familiar. I'll benedict you. May you become a Sankirtan devotee like me. Oh, thank you, Sahib. So Krishna will arrange it if we try, and he'll also take away our so-called Shakti, our Shakti, when he sees we're getting puffed up. But in any case, if we follow the process, chant Hare Krishna sincerely, as I said before, it's not like when we have a bead bag, we rub it and the genie comes out. The Krishna genie comes out. So yes, what can I do? Give me a house, give me a wife, give me a color TV. Om Jai Jagadisha Hari. No, we're sincerely chanting Hare Krishna to engage in his service, and we know what that service means, and we try to, then Krishna will empower us. He'll make our activities spiritualized more and more, so that we'll actually understand what the pure devotional service means. So I'll stop there. Thank you. Any questions? Yes. Take a chance.
So, now that you mentioned book distribution, we were just discussing today. We were thinking, how will we enter this year into the marathon?
In a blazing fire. I don't know. Is there any? You're not forbidden from going out. You just have to wear a mask. So wear a Jagannath mask. Smiley mask. Hi. Take this blissful book. Then your mask will start smiling too. Anyhow, you have to figure out door to door. They can't stop you from going door to door. People wear masks inside their house now. No, I don't. I mean, seriously, in the airplane, they have special masks for people on the airplane so they can eat in the mask. They've come so crazy. One person was thrown off the plane because he didn't want to eat in his mask. No, they have this this thing, and you can eat through the mask. Maybe soon they'll have edible masks. No, obviously you have to think about it because they're definitely not, I don't think they're going to be relaxing their restrictions. It's called boiling the frog. They made all these restrictions and then actually the better example is that they torture the people previously. They take the criminal and they put him underneath the water till he was almost drowning, and then they bring him up and go, "Oh, you're so kind, it's so nice of you." And then they bring him back into the water again. So it looks like they're trying to accustom people to being tortured. Oh, no, stop. All right, bring up for a sec. Oh. So it looks like, I don't think by December that they'll invent that all the statistics are going up. We've tested, 10 times more people, and 10 times more people have coronavirus. It's the first time in history that people who have no symptoms and completely healthy are being tested if they're sick. People are so foolish they think it's normal. They feel all right until they get the test. So I'll have to see. Anything else?
So, how to prevent becoming proud?
Well, Krishna will take care of that. And if Krishna can't do it, then his devotees will help you. Just stay in the Hare Krishna movement. Devotees are especially careful that the other devotees don't get too proud. All right, thank you very much. Grantaraj Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanand.